So finally, the moment we've been all waiting for has happened. Rolls-Royce has won the SMR contract in the UK. If you've been following this channel for a while, you would have seen that since maybe at least 1 year, I've been talking about Rolls-Royce and the SMR contract on the YouTube channel. And I've been invested in it quite a lot before that. So this is a big milestone for myself, for my portfolio, and even for the people on the channel who've been around since then. So after years of development, their small modular nuclear reactor design has moved on to the next stage. But what does this actually mean now? Where do we go from here? Is this going to be the future of like clean energy and it's going to like start now or something? Or is this just a long project that's just started now? And what does it mean for us as investors? Where does this come into our portfolio plan? So the UK government, through the Great British Nuclear, or GBN, has decided to move forward with rolling out small modular reactors all over the country. And Rolls-Royce is one of the few designs that have been selected. So it's still not like the only design or something, but it is one of the few that have been picked. And they're moving forward with commercial negotiations. But Rolls-Royce is seen as the leading contender, like it's most likely that they will win. Before we continue, I'd just like to say that nothing in this video is financial advice and it's for entertainment purposes only. And don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button and comment your thoughts below. And if you watch anything during the video, if you hear anything during the video that you want to talk about, like you could comment it while watching the video or whatever. So the UK is facing a future energy shortfall where most of its existing nuclear power stations are being retired, and they're trying to get like this net zero clean energy thing where like public transport needs to be electrified, and so they can have energy independence to some extent. So SMRs could help fill that gap. They're smaller in size physically. They have factory built modules, which saves money and time, and it's easier to scale compared to regular nuclear power plants. And they're also less risky to build in theory because they are standardized and repeatable. So if you're concerned about Rolls-Royce's nuclear reactor being like a new thing and that's risky and stuff, it's not really the case, because they're using a proven pressurized water reactor design that has been used in many other nuclear reactors around the world. So this is not like a brand new idea that no one knows what's going to happen. Just a scaled down version sort of thing. So the real innovation by Rolls-Royce is how it's built. So how everything is scaled down, some parts are built in factories, and all these money, time and space saving techniques. Each unit could power around 1 million homes with a target build cost of around 1.8 billion pounds per reactor. But of course, this is the like planned cost. It could be more, it could be less. I would guess it would probably be more. Each unit powering 1 million homes is pretty crazy. So that's like each home would have 1,800 pounds can power this one home for like 60 years or something, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's something like that. So that would be, if that's correct, then that is pretty crazy. Like that is a pretty big deal. So what's going to happen next now that they've got through this stage of their application or whatever? So it's still going through the generic design assessment by the UK government, or their nuclear program thing. And this is expected to be finished by 2026. But I mean, this contract that they just won was meant to be done like, actually it wasn't that delayed. It was delayed by maybe a couple months or something like that, but it wasn't that delayed. So maybe it could be like a little bit late, but it's probably overall going to be on time. So if successful, construction could begin by the end of the decade. So by the end of, before 2030 basically, and the first one could be ready and operational by like 2031. But this is like a best case scenario, and there could be some delays, but as we've seen, there have been delays, but not like crazy delays. Nothing too like out of the ordinary. So where does this leave us as investors, Rolls-Royce stock? As I said, nothing is financial advice, it's all for entertainment purposes only, and I can tell you what I've done and my plan sort of thing, and you can do with that information as you like. So if you've been following my channel, you would have seen that I was quite heavily invested in Rolls-Royce, as in it took a large portion of my portfolio. And when this news came out about them winning the contract, I did significantly cut down my position. I still have a good amount in there, it's just that it's just not an absurd percentage of my portfolio. So it is still a big portion of my portfolio, as in how I would, if I really believe in something, I would maybe make it 10% of my portfolio, which is what I had initially done with Rolls-Royce. But because it ballooned to 30% of my portfolio or more, I cut it back down to like 10-11%, and it's still 11% of your portfolio is considered quite heavily invested, especially for someone who is trying to be a bit conservative, a bit careful, and I'm now I don't like this 10-11% of the portfolio. I don't mind just leaving it here and just leaving it for like years and just seeing what happens, because I've already made like 8.5 times my investment. So this amount, I'm probably gonna leave it for now and just see what happens and let it stay till 2031 and beyond, and let the money from all the SMRs roll in or whatever's going to happen. I mean, the money from this contract, which is like 20 billion pounds, is meant to come gradually to Rolls-Royce. So the price of Rolls-Royce right now is mostly like speculation or based on hype, not based so much on actual numbers. I mean, there is a lot of numbers being taken into account, because they went from having like being in debt more than 2 billion pounds to being in profit 2 billion pounds or 4 billion, or I don't remember what it was something like that. So its price is definitely justified, and Rolls-Royce could have a lot higher that it could go from here, but I'm just not gonna sit there with 30% of my portfolio being Rolls-Royce. It's still considered kind of risky. There's more unknowns to this than like a typical blue chip stock. And of course, if Rolls-Royce does well in this, they could even start exporting this, especially considering the smaller scale and the modular design sort of thing. It can definitely be, it's something that could be exported as opposed to like a regular nuclear power plant. This 20 billion is just from the UK as far as I know. So, and they've already done things with Poland, with the Czechia, whatever, Czech Republic, whatever you want to call it. So, and I think Sweden maybe. So there's a whole world beyond the UK that could benefit from this technology. So I sold the news when the news came out that they've won the contract, but the design thing could be another sell the news moment, I don't know. But there was a sell the news moment when I sold it. Right after that, it went down by like £1. But it didn't really go like crashing down, and it didn't really shoot up either. But it's been accumulating gains like over the past couple of years, you could say, and significantly this year or last year. And SMRs are still not really proven on commercial scale. I don't think it's really been a thing yet. So this is a risky thing overall. Although the company is like a legacy company and it has a lot of stuff going for it. But you could see even Rolls-Royce as a legacy company, how it collapsed during COVID, but that was the whole flight industry basically. But I still have a significant portion of my portfolio in there, and I talked about this before, that the amount I had in there before is just like, it's kind of stupid. Like, I was taking a big risk. Now I feel like I'm taking a normal risk. And I feel like I'm gonna get hate from all the Rolls-Royce fans out there that, oh, this guy is like paper hands or whatever, and hodl, but like, that's not really a way to go about investing. And I'm just trying to be smart. I'm trying to yes, I know if it like doubles now, I've lost a lot of potential gains, but I'll still make gains that I'd be happy with. Like, I feel more comfortable doing this rather than seeing all those gains just disappear. So that's all for this video, and let me know, how's your Rolls-Royce position doing. Have you sold anything? When do you plan to sell, if ever? And yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe and let me know your thoughts below, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.